Time to whine. No, for real though, here's 10 things I don't want to see in Borderlands 4. Also, no particular order for all these. So at number 10, Mayhem Modifiers. Mayhem Modifiers were such a poor design choice. Like, I do understand the positive ones being fun, you know, like running around at fast speed, getting bonus element damage, and whatever else. But there was so many bad ones that it just made the gameplay not fun. You had death skulls chasing you after you kill an enemy that, you know, puts you automatically into fight for your life. You had Tesla coils spinning on the battlefield and connected Tesla beams, and yeah, you just weren't fighting the enemy, you were fighting all this like crap around him, and it really just took away from the gameplay. Now, I will say they did eventually add Mayhem 11 to Borderlands 3, and that did get rid of all the modifiers, but it was too late. It should have been done earlier on, applied to all the levels. But yeah, it was a new idea, didn't stick, please scrap it. For the next one, Anointments. Please do not bring back Anointments in Borderlands 4. If you're not familiar, Anointments were a thing you can get on your gear that give you a huge power boost, and so many of them are activated by just simply clicking one button. Like, we're talking about 100% damage, 300% damage. It was ridiculous. I will mention that they did tone it back when they brought them back to Wonderlands. They were called Enchantments instead. But even then, they were still really annoying to farm, and a couple of them stood way above the other Anointments, or Enchantments, sorry. And eventually they added a reroller in BL3 and also in Wonderlands. But even then, it was a slot machine. You sat there, you rerolled, you rerolled, you rerolled, you rerolled. And eventually you get lucky and get the thing you're looking for, but after spending 1,000, 2,000 Iridium, right? It's not good gameplay, it's not fun. Please get rid of them. We don't need more rolls on top of what we already have for the franchise. Speaking of more rolls, that does bring us into the next point, which is going to be, please do not have a billion part combinations on items. I understand it from the perspective of there's a bajillion gun combinations in the game. Like, that is a selling point for Borderlands, it always has been. But if you haven't noticed, as we push further and further into the franchise, they've been adding more and more part combinations on items. Some might see it as more diversity, but others might see it as you're never going to find the item you're looking for. You got to farm the element, the bullet multiplier, the mag size, the fire rate, the anointment, just so many things. In fact, in Wonderlands, there's a class mod, I believe that was called the Paradigm, right? And if you're looking for a very specific combination for the skills and the passives, the chance to roll it is over a 1 in 1 billion chance. I'm not exaggerating. You're never going to find the one you're looking for. So please, keep it more simple, keep it to the point, don't add more just for the sake of adding more. There's no worse feeling than getting a class mod in Borderlands 3 that has everything you want, except it's for your shotgun build and you have COV accuracy as a passive or something. Yeah, you're never going to find the one you're looking for unless you save at it. At number 6, we have one that I don't see a lot of people mention, but it kind of does tie into story pacing. And that is that I hope the intro isn't sluggish. In all of the games, you're met with Claptrap usually, and you have to like listen to him for a bit, and then you follow him, wait for triggers, wait even more, and it just feels very, very slow paced. But first playthrough, not really a big deal, you're learning the story, right? But anytime after, it's just like, come on, speed it up, please. I do understand new players are always coming into the franchise, and if their first game happens to be Borderlands 4, teaching them about the game makes sense, but have it flow along better. Like, you can tell us about what elements do, how to jump, crouch, whatever. You don't gotta stop us for 2 minutes. Now, in Borderlands 3, we did get a skip to Sanctuary for level 13, but to me it feels like you're skipping content, and I know the beginning's supposed to be tutorial level, right? But it still has bits of gameplay I want to play, but I don't want to be sitting around for an hour, that's all. Have it flow better. Next up, faster equipment unlocking. I haven't seen many people mention this, and it's one of my pet peeves in the franchise, but why? Why do you unlock your fourth gun halfway through the story, or unlock your relic slot also halfway through the story, or at the end of the story? Personally, I think you should be able to equip a full loadout by maybe a fourth through the story. Having that lock slot in your inventory just feels bad, and it really just makes gear management feel worse. Like, here's what's gonna happen. If you have 2 weapon slots unlocked at the beginning of the game, but you have 4 weapons you want to use, well, guess what? The player has to take off an item, put on the different item. Like, it's not gonna stop them from using the item. So why lock it in the first place? For the class mods, I can kinda understand, you know, it is a significant power boost that defines your setup, your build. But dude, relic slots and weapon slots don't really change the gameplay that much. But locking weapon slots and relic slots just feels bad. You're not getting a massive power boost out of having those unlocked. Moving on here, we have too many levels. You start at level 1, you grind to level 80 or 72. I feel like they add way too many levels, and 90% of the time, people are gonna grind the best XP source after they beat the story. Like, that's just how it is. Like, people want to get maximum level, Why push it so far back? Why give the players so many skill points they can, you know, make every build in one build? There needs to be a good limit. Also for levels, your Mayhem level, your OP levels, your endgame levels, right? For Borderlands 4, please do not make them go stupidly high. Give us like 3 to 5. You don't need, you know, 10, 20, 50, or what Wonderlands did, 100. Please don't think that adding more levels makes it more content. It really doesn't. It's just making it more repetitive. Adding so many levels kills the system, kills the flow, kills your balancing. Keep it more simple, please. For number 4, we have item forging. Please don't. It might be considered a hot take, and I know some people do want this in Borderlands 4, but if they add it, it's going to kill farming. Like, bro, you farm one item and then take said item to special table, and then boom, now it's a perfect roll. Oh my goodness, I got it first try. No, that's not Borderlands to me. Now, I have heard from some people that Destiny did a take on this for item forging, and they did it really wrong. Borderlands, like it or not, is a farming game. You're going to be farming in some form at some point. And sitting at a table for half your playthrough, reforging your parts, or Anointments, this is another thing, right? That's not gameplay. That's not fun. Let's go explore the galaxy, get our loot, get lucky, get the right rolls. Not sitting at a table for hours, making your gear perfect. Not to mention, if they did add reforging and maybe it costed Iridium, right? Well, guess what? Now players are going to be targeting the best Iridium farm in the game, and everybody's going to do the same farm non-stop over and over for all this Iridium, and it's just going to be the same gameplay loop over and over. That's kind of boring. At number 3, we have immune phases. Now, I will say these could be done right, but so many bosses in the franchise are notorious for sitting around, waiting, doing nothing. You do this for Rampager and BL3, you're just sitting there seeing him roar for like a minute or two. And then you have Evil Lilith, you're just sitting there watching her power up while you just do nothing. Warriors diving under lava, sitting there waiting for him to pop back up. Bunkers flying around, and, you know, flying enemy AI is not good, so sometimes it takes them a full minute to fly to the platform. Heck, not even bosses. Enemies do this too. You have, like, skeleton mages that disappear. That's almost like an immune phase. You're just sitting there waiting for him to pop back up. Or you have enemies with shields, like the Anointed Militants, or, like, the Armored Skeletons in BL2. You shoot at them, and guess what? They're not taking damage. You gotta sit there and wait. It's not good gameplay. It slows down pacing. It slows down combat. I know that, you know, immune phases have to exist in some form for some things, but at least have the player be doing something and not standing there waiting. That would make the world of difference. At number 2, and again, no particular order, we're just listing them off. Visual pollution. It is bad in Borderlands 3. And in some cases, pretty bad in Borderlands 2. Enemies throwing grenades, shooting you with rocket launchers, setting you on fire, corroding you, whatever. It should not blind you. It should not make you feel like you're looking at the center of the sun. Please tone it back. Heck, add us lighter. That'd be nice. And allow us to see our beautiful game during heavy combat. Please. For the final one, we have Cosmetic Duplicate Protection. There is no worse feeling than getting a cosmetic drop that you already have. In Borderlands 2 and 3, these can be legendary. And for a split second, you get excited thinking, oh, I got something. And then you realize, oh, hey, I already have it. So it's kind of pointless. In Borderlands 2, you could sell it for a little bit of money. And in Borderlands 1, for whatever reason, they make you sell it for $1. I've never understood that. And even if you made it worth a lot for selling, it's still not fun to pick up like junk off the ground and sell it. And not only that, it gets worse. In Borderlands 3, if you leave that cosmetic legendary on the ground, it will clog up your lost loot machine. So your choice is, you know, open your inventory, make room, pick it up, and then sell it for $1, or leave it on the ground and let it clog up your lost loot. I will say though, in the last update we got for Borderlands 3, they did add pick up and sell automatically for a certain rarity. But even then, it still feels bad if you get a duplicate cosmetic that you already have. Give us duplicate protection. If you already have it, don't make it drop ever again. That is the do-all solution right there. Anyways, that's going to be it for my 10 things I don't want to see in Borderlands 4. I could list another 20,000 things. Ava. And yeah, be sure to comment down below what you guys want to see not return in Borderlands 4. And of course, you guys have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Peace out.